is TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Okmade, and this is Africa Now. Tigray rebels have accused the African Union of bias following the appointment of Nigeria's former president, Olusegun Obsasanjo, as a mediator in the conflict that has been tearing northern Ethiopia apart for nearly a year. Spokesman for the rebels, Getachew Reda, on Twitter says, resolving a crisis requires at least the recognition of the existence, if not the importance of a problem, he wrote. It would be naive to think that this mission could work, he adds. According to the United Nations, the conflict has already left some 400,000 people in a near-famine situation. Still on Ethiopia's 10-month internal war has incurred a huge economic cost to Africa's second most populous nation that could take years to repair. Prior to the global pandemic and the war, Ethiopia's economy was one of the fastest growing in the region, expanding by an average of 10% a year in the decade to 2019, according to the World Bank. Official statistics show the cost of basic consumer goods has indeed gone up in Ethiopia. They were on average around a quarter more expensive in July than a year earlier. Last week, UN Secretary General says the conflict had drained over $1 billion from the country's coffer. Now away from Ethiopia to Zambia. Zambia's new president, Hakainde Hichilema, late on Sunday announced new commanders of the Zambian Army, the Air Force, and the National Service and their deputies, as well as a new Inspector General of Police. According to Hichilema, the new office bearers must have the interest of the people at heart and serve the country diligently while ensuring human rights, freedom, and liberties are respected. All regional police commissioners have been relieved of their duties, but their replacements have not been named. Libyans are yearning for an end to daily power blackouts across the country that boast of Africa's largest reserves of oil and gas and a population of just 7 million. On most days, Tripoli residents can expect multiple cuts to the main supply, totaling 12 hours a day. According to the state-run General Electricity Company of Libya, generating capacity from oil and gas power stations of between 5,000 and 5,500 megawatts fall well short of the demand of 7,000 megawatts in winter and 8,000 in summer. 2 new power stations are under construction in Tripoli and Libya's third main city, Misrata. They are expected to add 1,300 megawatts of capacity by next year. From 2022, Congo will take over rotating presidency of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, to succeed neighboring Angola. Mohamed Barkindo, the Secretary General of the oil cartel, visiting the Central African country, reassured investors that OPEC will continue to work for the leadership of African countries. Congo, the largest oil producer in sub-Saharan Africa after Nigeria and Angola, has 2.9 billion barrels of oil reserves and 10 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. Production cuts imposed by OPEC amid concerns that producers Total and Eni are clearing the country, among other things, has in recent years led to a drop in oil revenues. This is your digital-first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You are watching Africa Now. We move to business after the break, so stay tuned. Welcome back in business. As part of a broader examination of mining contracts in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the government is reviewing its $6 billion infrastructure for minerals deal with Chinese investors, Finance Minister Nicolas Kazadi says. Earlier in May, President Felix Tshisekedi has said that some mining contracts could be reviewed because of concerns they are not sufficiently benefiting Congo, the world's largest producer of cobalt and Africa's leading miner of copper. According to Congo's Chamber of Mines, Chinese investors control about 70% of the country's mining sector. Zambia's new finance minister, Situmbeko Musokotwane, is critical to agree to a lending program with the International Monetary Fund to help pull the southern African country out of a protracted debt crisis. Musokotwane, appointed on Friday by recently elected President Hakainde Hichilema, adds that the IMF program would give creditors confidence and the government cheaper and and longer financing. Zambia, Africa's second biggest copper producer, became the continent's first pandemic-era sovereign defaulter in November when it stopped servicing its $3 billion in Eurobonds along with almost all its external debt. Now, Angola's debt and stock exchange handled a total of 345 billion kwanzas, that is $543 million, in the second quarter of 2021, according to a statement issued by Bodiva on Saturday. The amount was the result of 1,525 business transactions in the regular market under Bodiva's management, an increase of 9.95% year-on-year, the statement says. The referred turnover also represents an increase of 1.78% compared to the same period of 2020, the statement added. And away from business, Algerian authorities arrested on Sunday Tunisia's media mogul and former presidential candidate Nabil Kouroui for entering Algeria secretly and illegally. Tunisia's state TV and radio Mosaic FM says that Kouroui secretly entered the Algerian city of Tebassa with his brother Ghazi Kouroui, and he will appear in Algerian courts on Monday. Kouroui has not appeared in public since President Kais Saied dismissed his prime minister, froze parliament, and assumed executive authority last month. And in sport, Ethiopian Yalemzef Yuhalo has broken the women's half marathon world record at 64 minutes at the Antrim Coast event in Northern Ireland. Yeha allowed 22 clock 63 minutes and 43 seconds, which cut 19 seconds off the previous mark set by Kenyan Ruth Chepngetich. Earlier this year, the Ethiopian was on the world record pace all the way. And that is Africa Now. For more updates, to visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. To stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Ukmade. Thanks for watching.